It's way past time I dispense some indiscriminate justice!
G'day guys, Duckville here. We're into Game 3 of the Grand Final of the NRG tournament back on the weekend that was played. It was between one of our Protoss here in the blue, nGenLight, who is off the C server, of course, one of the top 20 players we have here down in C World, and his opponent here is not just Juice. This is actually a bit of a ninja name. He's actually just borrowed the account, and this is actually ST Ace. So obviously, in the past two games, we did see that in Game 1, a very solid, safe build from ST Ace, getting a 2-gate robo straight up and getting a few immortals out and punishing the early 3-gate blink stalker from his opponent Light, who of course was a bit unfortunate with one of his blinks. And then in Game 2, he actually went straight for a cheese. So Ace actually went straight for the in-base 2-gate, which was quite interesting to see. Haven't actually seen that for quite a while. Actually, as I mentioned, it was quite popular during beta and during the very, very early portions of StarCraft 2 after retail release. But it sort of fell out of favor, of course, because it was, of course, very popular, and it was quite devastating to many players, to the new players, to the older players who had some skills. It was just very hard to stop, which is why it got nerfed, which is why we don't see it anymore. So, Light scouting out quite quickly there. I'm not sure if that was straight on the pylon. I believe it was, but it looks as if we do have the, it was actually a gateway scout for Ace, so he's a little bit more confident of just getting a tiny little boost to his economy there, scouting a little bit later, and we do see that nGenLight has now found his opponent. Having a quick look around in the base, sees that a pylon and a simulator and a gateway are already up, and we will obviously not see too much tech going on because it's very hard to sort of put your tech up when you are actually going to sort of go for something and there is a probe in your base. So generally in PvP we don't see anything come out until that probe is dead, so if Light can keep that alive for quite a good period of time, he'll get some good intel and keep that going, which will be really good for him. But we do see both players doing essentially the exact same thing. Once again, Ace actually getting the Zealot out first, or actually maybe that was Light in the first game, I can't remember, but someone had a Zealot coming out first, which is generally what you do see in the PvPs when there's no 4-gates. So I'm going to be a bit surprised if there is a 4-gate from either of these players. We did see that in Game 1, Light actually went for that that very fast Stalker map patrol sort of style that we do see, that was introduced by one of the players in the GSL. Who was it? I can't actually remember, but then picked up by Artosis. And if you jump on Artosis' StarCraft channel, you'll be able to see that particular build there. Coming in is this Zealot, comes in to spot the probe, but the probe looks as if it was hidden there in the smoke, doing a bit of a Batman maneuver there and hiding in the smoke so that the Zealot didn't actually see it. But the Zealot is now moving just around to see what's happening, and it does look as if we are actually getting a 4-gate, so we will see what Ace can pull out of this particular bag of tricks here. He does have one Stalker out already. We do have a couple of Stalkers once again being chrono boosted out by Light. He's going to make sure that his Stalkers are running around patrolling the map. We do see two of them here which are going to run around. We'll probably see that third one pop out, and then a robotics bay, which is generally how you're meant to do this build. We do have a pylon being placed here, so I'm not sure if this particular if this early Stalker build is the best way to counteract a 4-gate, because of course there are a lot of these high ground positions which can be hard to spot when a pylon's coming in. Normally you do see a pylon over here on this side of the map, which is of course a lot closer to your opponent, as we just saw there, but it's still a great one to put over here. Now we do see the Stalkers catching that probe, which is a great little battle there, a win there, sorry, for Light. He's killed off that probe, which is going to stop any further production of pylons coming out. But as we see here, as I mentioned, that pylon that was already placed is still in a decent spot, and we'll be able to resupply any of the units that are coming in for ST Ace here. We do see that he is slightly pylon blocked just at the moment here, but he does have these units sitting here at the front gate of Light. We'll see what Light can come up with. He does have one sentry for a force field. Can he pull it off? He does indeed. Moving back off the ramp there. He does have a lower amount of forces, but he is able to kill off the Stalker and that Zealot that got a bit hasty and got up the ramp. Now, I'm just a bit interested to see if we will have another push here from Ace. He does come inside. Some Stalkers being crushed there at the front. The Zealot almost blocking off some of these Stalkers, being cut down to just the 4 Stalkers. the Sentry and another Sentry, just the only survivors along with the Stalkers. So the full gate effectively has been counteracted, I don't know, that word with countered, that's the one. Countered there by Light, so we'll see if Ace continues this pressure. He does of course have that pylon that was down there, but I don't think he's going to go for it any further. He does have the robotics up. Now this is where the bonus of this particular build from Light comes into effect. He does have this early robotics facility, and as we can see, the Immortal is out way before ST Ace is going to have any chance of getting an Immortal out, so we'll be interesting to see if Light actually goes for some sort of pressure or anything like that, but he looks as if, oh, he might actually be going for a quick one-base Colossus attack perhaps. Not too sure, but we'll see what's happening. He is he's not really stacking up any gas just yet, so he'd sort of want to start stacking it up around about now. Your robotics bay is at half done, and we'll see if he holds up the gas, and it looks as if he is. So we'll probably see some more Zealots warping in here at the front if he does decide to. Obviously you do need quite a sizable amount to get the Colossus. They are 300, 200 as we just saw there on the tab, and we'll see if he does go straight for it. Keep an eye on that production tab. The robotics bay is done. There it is. You do have a Colossus coming out. So we will see a one-base Colossus build. I'm not actually sure if he's going to just use this to expand or if he's going to actually hit a timing attack, which you can pull off with this one-base style. Meanwhile, over here, as we saw, ST Ace is actually grabbing a hidden Nexus at the 9 o'clock position. Now, I'll get my clock right. It's end of daylight savings, so I'm still a bit unsure about the clock positions, but Nexus now done. We'll see if Ace actually transfers over some probes. This is a very, very sneaky move here by Ace. If he can hold that up and actually get his economy rolling, he will be in a massive lead, but I do not think that's going to happen. We'll just look at the timings here. The Colossus pops out. Probe gets inside from Ace here, scouting out exactly what is going on here. Takes some minerals, actually decides not to. Sees that the robotics bay is done. Ace is going to need to get some more defenses up. These, how many is that? We got eight Stalkers along with one Immortal. Is not going to cut the cookie for this particular battle here, as that Nexus has gone up and has taken up a lot of Ace's time and money. Of course, the Twilight Council is going to be warped in there as well. Now, a probe here from Light has spotted what's happening here, knows what is cooking, and will be ready to attack, I would assume, in any sweet time when he is ready to go. He's just got his one Colossus, warping in some more Stalkers. This is going to be a big battle here, I would say. We'll see if he actually comes through. Here it comes. So we do have the Colossus on the high ground here. It does not have Thermal Lance, keep in mind, so there is no way for that to get any bonus range on the units here. We do have a probe which warped in a pylon over here, as we saw. A pylon was actually taken out there by Light, so Ace is actually just slightly pylon blocked for the moment, but now it's actually being brought back in. Warp Prism being brought into play here, attempting to use that to get his Immortals on top of the Colossi if he can. We'll see if he actually brings the Warp Prism back again and get the Immortals inside, but it's very dangerous to do. Of course, they do die in about one shot from a Stalker because they are that weak, which is why no one ever uses them. It looks as if the Colossi did a great job. One of them did die straight off, as we saw there, but some nice micro here from Ace, attempting to pull back some of the Stalkers, but there is just way too much, and he has lost way too much. Bringing the Warp Prism, there it goes, dies off straight away, as I mentioned, and some more reinforcing Stalkers coming in. So GG there from ST Ace. Pulling off the win is Light, of course. Just this very risky expansion off to the side there, giving Light just a bit of a sort of a bonus there to his attack forces, because there purely just weren't as many here for Ace to defend with, along of course with the fact that the Colossi was out. So brilliant game there from Light, taking that one. So we are now at 2-1 with Ace in front, and we'll go into the next map, which I think is, I can't actually remember, but we're going to game 4. Make sure you leave some comments, subscribe, all that sort of stuff, and we'll see you guys in the next game. Cheers.